Hello, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, people everywhere who might see this video. So yesterday or the day before was hip hop's 50th birthday. That was a big monumental thing. I actually just got finished watching Run DMC. It was my favorite group ever when I was 9 years old. So they performed. That really brought back a lot of memories. And had me thinking at the same time hip hop turned 50, there was a big shooting at a little Durk concert, and I saw it, and it makes me kind of sad to think some of the direction that hip hop has gone today. And that's why my title for today's YouTube video is, has hip hop music become true crime music, right? You know, true crime is a genre where it's usually all about death. You know, it's usually a husband killing a wife or a wife killing a husband, but it's death, and it's extremely popular because death is entertainment for people, you know what I mean? Like, these are documentaries and podcasts that people listen to. It's not really news, you know what I mean? It's people in cities, hundreds of miles, thousands of miles where people are, but people isn't really watching these to be informed. They're watching this to be entertained, and it's fucked up that death is entertainment, violence is entertainment. So let me get back to hip hop. So I grew up listening to Run DMC. Extremely influential on me, man. They had me wearing Adidas. They had me proud to be black. And I was just at 9 years old, and I also had other rappers, Biz Markie, Will Smith, aka the Fresh Prince. And all these rappers, I think, had a, relatively positive influence on me. And as I got older into the 90s, I started listening to Nas, Wu-Tang, other rappers. And there's, in some ways I feel rap had me drinking certain beers, smoking certain blunts to have certain weed with, because I was trying to be like these rappers. They were like kind of heroes to me. And I'd say they led me in a good direction, you know what I mean? Most of them. And I listened to a wide variety of music, not just like Run DMC, but as I got older and I had a balance. So I was listening to De La Soul, Tribe Called Quest, and they really helped me develop my sense of, like, Afrocentrism, humor, style, all that, because, I wanted to be like them. But I also listened to some gangster rap too. I listened to Cool G Rap, listened to NWA, and then rappers like, Wu-Tang and Mobb Deep, who kind of straddled the line. But even then, I remember there was a couple songs that came out when I was like, 12, 13, really coming of age. One was Self-Destruction, and it was all about, stopping the violence. And another one was We're All in the Same Gang, and that was basically a West Coast version of Self-Destruction, in which a lot of the West Coast rappers came together and, decried gang violence. Now, today, I don't really see too many of those influences on the kids. And I'm going to get back to Little Durk, because right now I guess he's being implicated in a RICO involving the murder of FBG Duck. And also, we all know about his friend King Von, who was, recently been called a serial killer. And there's all these documentaries about him. And I think the documentaries are, like, more popular than the music, because people are entertained by crime, you know what I mean? They're entertained by violence. They're entertained by gang violence. So people are drawn to it for that reason, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like, I'm not gonna blame Little Durk. He grew up in a gang neighborhood with a gangster for a father. It was like there wasn't many other options of what he could do and be in life, In many ways, he's a product of an environment. But there's a lot of people, a lot of educated people, a lot of people who should have morals and a conscience in the music business, who push music like Little Durk because it's profitable. Because sex and violence is profitable, and there's no moral compass for these people, and they don't really care the effect an artist like Little Durk has on, like, young kids growing up wanting to be like him. And we've seen how, like, back in my day, we had Death Row, which was a very problematic record label with a lot of violence and stuff like that, a lot of misogyny. That was a kind of big start to what's going on in hip-hop. We've seen that with Dr. Dre, who, was even accused of beating women himself. There's misogynist music, gang-related music. And this is kind of when the Bloods and the Crips started spreading because of, Death Row. And then the other acts out of L.A. started blooding and cripping. And then other cities would take it on. So we see how, like, hip-hop music can affect gang music and gang culture. And I think you've seen the same thing in the past 10 years since Chief Keef, Little Durk, Lil Reese, that whole Chicago movement came. Now you're seeing like BDs and GDs, Black Gangster Disciples and Gangster Disciples, spreading like all over Brooklyn and other places that they haven't been. And I think this is because of rap music. And I'm not gonna blanket all rap music, all's not bad. You got rappers like J. Cole, but even rappers like J. Cole's doing songs with Little Durk. Drake's doing songs with Little Durk, because they need that kind of street credibility. So in order to get that street credibility, they gotta align themselves with gangsters who promote gang violence. And this is what's happening. And again, I'm not really blaming these young little kids in Chicago, 14, who got record deals. Like, they didn't know nothing but gang banging. So, you know, now we have a new kind of wave, you know what I mean? So, and it's spreading. You have Brooklyn drill, Bronx drill, and, you know, I follow this stuff on the internet. And it's sad, man. There's so many, like, I remember when Scott LaRock died, that was a real big deal. Like, I thought hip-hop people were, you know, like, immortal. And then, like, Trouble T. Roy died, and it was an accident, right? That was an accident. Scott LaRock was killed. And then Biggie and Tupac was killed. But, like, nowadays, it seems like a rapper's dying every other month. And people is really entertained by the beefs and the violence, and that's how they get coverage in the blogs. Like, media people don't really talk about music no more. They just talk about beefs, who got arrested, who got shot. You know what I'm saying? So, I feel like, really, the people really got to make a change, man. This is our culture, our music, and the people who profit off music will continue to sell sex and violence without caring what effect it has on the community, because they don't care about the community. They just care about the bottom line. So that's all I gotta say today, man. Happy 50th birthday to hip hop. I really wish we could change hip hop so it could be the same positive influence it was on my youth, instead of a negative influence on other people. You know, bringing them into gang culture, like having them, like, you know, disrespecting dead people, smoking on dead people, glamorizing gang life, you know, starting beef, stuff like that. It's really sad, man. You know, you got a whole genre called drill music, and a drill is basically a murder. So you have a whole genre that's murder music, you know what I mean? Like, which is crazy. So, like, true crime, death music, true crime, real music. It's not like fictional entertainment. It's not journalism either. These kids ain't really talking about what's going on in their hood. They're talking about what they're doing and the violence is doing. Like, when I was growing up, there was a bit more like journalism. Like, rappers were telling you what was going on in their hood. They wasn't glamorizing it. They wasn't talking about that they was the ones doing it. So, yeah, man. Like, let's save hip hop, man. Let's really try and save it for the youth, because youth already have a lot of trouble these days, man. There's a lot of negative influences on them. And this dude's violent, so I'm gonna get out of here. All right. So yeah, man. Happy 50th birthday, hip hop. Let's bring back hip hop to the positive, creative force that it once was and also could be, and move it forward. You know. All right.